Beats Planet.
Yo, let me get my voice right. What's happening, y'all? Oh man, wait a minute. Let me fix the stream real quick because we've been losing so much. We ain't even had a background up. We had a little Voch fussing at. That's how you know we lose, because the challenges look different. I sound pissed off in film sessions. Angry Voch just looking at you, pissed off. You know what I mean? We don't get music. You know what I mean? We don't get war cry. We don't get water. We don't get nothing. We don't get nothing when we lose. But you know, when we win, you know, I got to hold down for y'all. Let's just go ahead and about that. Let me do this while I transition my headphone game or whatever, just to be a little thorough with y'all. But welcome. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Salute to you. Been a minute since I got a chance to do one of these, especially do one from the compound. Let me hit a little more volume for y'all right there. It's been a while since we got a chance to do one from the compound, but we are here. I want y'all to get your thoughts off. I need y'all testing. There we go. I need y'all to get y'all opinions out, you know what I mean? Just to get everything back on track here. I'm going to be dropping my films throughout the week. I was working on a bunch of them today. I'll release them throughout the week as I edit them, you know, as I take care of business or whatever, because I will be out this week. Give me 30 seconds. Because I will be out this week. So I'll just be, just releasing those film sessions as needed. Then we got the holidays coming up too, so just be aware of that. I'll be taking my soundboard, microphones, and laptop to Mississippi with me, so I can try to get some work done while I'm down there with the fams and all that. You know what I mean? So let's get into this thing. I see people bothering me in my chat box already. Let's see what y'all talking about after I pull this link up here. Give me 30 seconds. All right, here we go. What I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to just get my final thoughts out about this Rams game. I've watched the game in broadcast view. I watched the film a couple times. I've broken down different little situations, and I'm kind of gonna run through some numbers and stats and just tell y'all how I feel. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get y'all get my thoughts on this. Then I'm gonna give the chat box time to express themselves. Then we're gonna get these phones going. I haven't gotten the phones going in a while. Haven't heard what y'all got to say in a minute. If you want to call into the show, the number is 515-606-5187. Access code 309. 104. The numbers on the screen. Let me take a little Voch off of there and put the Cowboys back up there. There we go. Now, boy, we beat the shit out the Rams. That's what it's supposed to be, ain't it? Ain't that what being a Cowboy fan's all about? Ain't that what the vibes is? To be pissed off and for us to come out and be the warrior we supposed to be? We ain't supposed to lose fights to no civilians. We ain't supposed to be out here pity-patting with the knickknacks. It wasn't supposed to be close with Money Mitch. We're supposed to smoke Money Mitch and Josh Allen and them. We're supposed to smoke them. It seems like the coaches that Cowboy fans seem to want the most, those are teams that we beat the shit out of. Let me just hit the button. Boy, we really went on this. Man, I wish my coach was like Sean McVay. Not that guy. Not that Sean McVay. I want my coach to be like Doug Peterson. Not that Doug Peterson. Not that Doug Peterson. You don't want your coach to be like those fellas, you know. We got another matchup coming up with Doug Peterson or whatnot, but I ain't like I'm scared of these people. I'm not superstitious at all, but I have seen the notice that every time I say we're gonna beat the shit out of somebody, we don't. You know what I mean? So for the next 6 games, that's gonna be my energy. Everybody in the chat box right now, and if you're listening to this on demand in the comment section, just hashtag real quick. 6 more games. Hashtag 6 more games. That's all it is. That's all it takes. I'm not gonna say nothing. But when you get to the end of the season and it gets real compressed like this, you know what I mean? People say it's a long season. It's a long season. I'm aware. But when you get to this point and you see it on paper, you just see it say 6 more games, it puts into a little bit of perspective in the way that we are running out of mistake room. Okay? We're running out of mistake room. If you're cooking hamburger helper, you got a lot of room for mistakes. You cooking filet mignon, you ain't got a lot of room for mistakes. You know? You can make your salmon medium rare, but if you overcook it, you can make salmon croquettes. Salmon is forgiving. You can't overcook your filet, my guy. You know what I mean? So we're at this point in the season where we're running out of room for forgiveness. Okay. You don't want to lose those games. You don't want to lose the game. You know, and I don't even want to be that guy. But you know, if the Patriots game wasn't like a Category 5 hurricane and shit, and we make one play differently versus the Vikings, y'all know how I feel about that game. And we do one thing differently versus the Jets, y'all know how I feel about that game. Or if we just make the field goals we were supposed to make, this thing looks a lot different than 7-7. This thing looks a lot more respectable. And that's what it all comes down to. When you look in your win-loss columns, there won't be a bunch of asterisks that say L but Monsoon. L but 10 of your starters were hurt. L but Maher was terrible, and if we would have made these field goals, we would have won. It's just L. That's the difference between this thing. You know? 4 games different. We're 12 and 13-3 team? If 4 games, 4 little mistakes go differently, you respect your team a little bit different. You know what I mean? That's how close this thing gets. But when you're in the regular season, you it's a lot more forgiving. You can lose a game versus the Jets and be like, all right, cool. As long as we win the next 5, we'll be fine. We can't really lose no more. Hashtag 6 more games. We can't lose anymore. So at the end of the year, you want to have a 7-game win streak. Somebody say, Voch, is that possible? Well, we've done it before. Jason Garrett led teams have gone on 7-game win streaks before, even more. It's not impossible. 2 of them gonna be Eagles and Redskins. That'll get you to the fight. Then the other 4 games are the ones that you really gonna have to, pardon my language, ladies, bring your nuts for. Or your ovaries, if y'all listen. I know we got a couple ladies in the chat box. Bring your nuts and ovaries there. So there are Cowboy fans that look at things as negative as possible. I'm not one of those Cowboy fans. I think if this team is firing on all cylinders, we can whoop anybody. We can whoop anybody. Considering that we do what we're supposed to do. I know a lot of people want to push Jason off a bridge. They want to assassinate Jason. They want to get him up out the paint here. But when his team executes, it looks different. I'm not defending Jason Garrett. I haven't done it all year. People seem to think that I've been defending Jason Garrett. I said at the beginning of the year, we'll see depending on what happens this season. But when you say anything but bring your pitchfork and torch, people turn your words into what they want to turn them into. You see what I mean? Regardless of what you feel about Brother Jason, when this team executes, you can win in spite of them. Let me say that shit one more time. We're so good, regardless of what you feel about Brother Jason, when this thing executes, it's good. Regardless of Brother Jason. Shouts out to Special K. He said he just copped Beast TV the other day. I read his comment. He said he loves it. Shouts out to you, fella. I like it too. Y'all go check that out. They sponsored this show nicely. But we're talented enough to win despite of what Brother Jason brings to the table. It all comes back down to player execution. You saw what happened yesterday when the one tech not getting pushed up the field, when Malik Collins does his job, get a little bit of penetration in the middle, where we stopping the run on the edges and setting them, when our linebackers can run freely and make tackles, when Jalen legs ain't hurting and he's doing things properly. I'm about to drop a film session like Friday or something, and it's gonna explain how level 1, 2, and 3 trickle down from each other. To where if you tired of cussing Jeff Heath out, cool. Level 1 and 2 should do their jobs. You know, if you don't want Jalen Smith to be in a compromising position, cool. Your D-line should do their job. And when the D-line did their job, boy, we cussed Jalen Smith out a lot less. Boy, Sean Lee looked fantastic. I don't think nobody said nothing about Jeff Heath last week. Let me do better for that. I don't think a soul had anything negative to say about Jeff Heath because we took care of business on the first level. Boy, when your D lineman get whooped and Xavier Woods got to run down that alley with some gangster and he gets run over, now you want to cuss Xavier Woods out and cuss Jeff Heath out. Cuss your D-line out. But boy, when that D-line looked different, man, this D-line looked different. Hit the button. But the D-line looking different. That defense looked fantastic. When your D-line's doing his job, when it's getting pressure, boy, Cheeto covers a lot better, doesn't he? Hit the button for Cheeto. Jeremiah Green in the chat box says, except for that touchdown, I agree. Jeremiah, but 2 touchdowns came, versus the March Lillard team. When March Lillard and Covington was out there. That's where 2 of the touchdowns came from. The other touchdown just came from the Rams being good. Let's not forget that. Like, we beat the shit out of them. The Rams good. The Rams are good. Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp and them, Robert Woods, Higbee, them cats good. But boy, when we good, we good. Yeah. When we good, we good. Interesting. Special. If the Rams want to score 7 points in 3 quarters, let them. Get in the end zone. Knock yourself out. Let us chill for a second and figure this thing out. Look at your offense and how they perform. What's the key to the offense? The offensive. Yes, the offensive line. Very good, y'all. Hit the button for the offensive line. Yeah. I said I wasn't going to say nothing evil about Xavier Su'a-Filo this week. Nope. I'm not. He wasn't great. He wasn't even good. But he did not get you killed. He did not get you killed. David Suafilo, that is. You know what I mean? He did just enough. He had just enough help, and the offense schemed around not having to deal with the him and Aaron Donald matchup. I'll be breaking that down tomorrow. I want y'all to just get this one time. Just there you go. Get that one time. I'll be doing the Xavier Suafilo film session tomorrow. So y'all just tune in early in the morning whenever I drop that. But yeah. I think the receivers had like a total, 8 catches? Hold on. I will count for you. Give me a second. I got to pull it up right here. Let's see. Tavon had 1. Cooper had 1. Gallup had 1. Randall Cobb. The motherfucking receivers had 4 catches. We beat the shit out of the Rams, and the receivers had 4 catches. Hey, y'all, don't be saying Antoine backwards because I already put that joke in my film session this week, and I don't want y'all to think I stole it from you. That video's done already. Don't be coming out here saying Antoine backwards. Don't be coming in here saying Don't come in here saying that foolishness, man. Don't come in here saying that, bro. Hashtag wild parsley. The receivers had a combined 4 catches yesterday. So I was like, damn, Voch, does that mean we don't need our receivers? Well, don't be silly. Of course not. That's not what that means. It means is we're better in matchup football than we thought we were. Let me borrow your ears for a second. Because we've had games to where all our receivers went off, but our tight ends wouldn't do shit. This game, our tight ends were carrying the load. Receivers didn't do much. Who had the catches? Zeke had 3. Blake had 2. Jason had 4. Tony had 2. And that ain't even many. Dak was 15 for 23. Zeke had 24 carries, though. Tony had 12 carries, though. Dak had 7. Tavon had 2. It means, what that means to me is not, somebody was like, yo, Voch, does this mean that the run game was the key this whole time? No, because some teams we're not going to be able to run against. What that means to me is that we can do anything we want. That's what that means to me. We can do whatever we want versus these people. If Dak need to come out and throw for 300 yards to win a game, we know we could do that. If Zeke need to come out and get like 110 or 115, cool. If Tony Pollard need to come out and outrush Zeke by half the carries, then cool. Whatever you need to do to get through your day. But at the end of the day, we can do anything. And over these next 6 games, I hope we keep that diversity real smooth. You know what I mean? I hope we keep that diversity real smooth. So anyway, that's I need to check on my super chats, and I need to check on the chat box because I see y'all binging me, but I was trying to get these thoughts out without, So on the docket, okay, I just gave y'all my final thoughts on the Rams versus Cowboys. I want y'all to call in and give me your final thoughts on Rams versus Cowboys. 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. The numbers on the screen is in the description somewhere. Check that out. Also, I kind of wanted to touch on, like, hey, man, like, Dak's hurt. He's on the injury report, but he ain't injured. You know what I mean? So don't come texting me or inboxing me, yo, Voch, should we sign Kaepernick for 1 week to to come out and play Philly? No, Dak's going to be fine. If he wasn't, we would play Cooper Rush because he's been in this system for the whole year, for 3 years, basically. Nah, fam, nah. So don't worry about that. And I kind of do want to touch on the Pro Bowlers. We had the big 3 at the offensive line, and Zeke made the Pro Bowl. But the reason why Rain Dakota didn't make it, and the reason why Amari Cooper didn't make it, and I think partially why Leal didn't make it too, because we just didn't win enough football games. If we'd be leading the league in rushing, and we was like and we ended like 13-3 or something like that, then all those guys will be in the Pro Bowl. It's just a matter of winning. The Ravens got what 12, 14 people in the Pro Bowl or whatever. They got 12, 14 people because they're winning. They're winning and they're a lot more visible. That don't mean that their players are better than me. That don't mean that their players are better than me. That their players are better than ours. That don't mean that they did better because Dak leading all the damn stats and numbers. But wins make this thing matter. Wins make this thing matter. Nene dropped the deuce in the super chat. I don't know why, because she's my wife, and it's just going to go right back to her pockets, too. But she just think hashtag wild parsley is just so appropriate and just so hilarious and just so right on point. And it's crazy because Antoine Woods actually came out with a quote, and he said that the arrest motivated him to play a little better. So, of course, there was a bunch of people that was in that thing like, well, you need to get arrested every week, like Voch said. Also, Mr. Lee dropped the deuce in the super chat as well. He says the best Cowboy show. 100, 100, 100. Let him know, Mr. Lee. Let him know. Dr. Lee, my fault. Hit it with a little flight of the bumblebee. Let him know. Let him know, Dr. Lee. They don't want. Come on, son. We be out here whooping .com, dog. .com don't know what. If .com didn't have player interviews, boy, they'd be in deep shit. Boy, they'd be in some hot water if .com didn't have player interviews. I've seen Marquise tell me that he's hit my PayPal 12 times. So let's see what he's talking about. Marcus, pardon me, it's not Marquise. The Q is silent. Is Marcus Hardison. My bad, man. Let me read, see what you said, Doc. Let's see. Love you, brother. The water tastes like a chilled knee-high peach soda with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. One time from my guy. They don't know nothing about the knee-high with the ice cream scoop. They don't make floats anymore. Do they make floats anymore? Does anybody make floats anymore? Anybody make that? Anybody make floats? I ain't heard of a float in years. But a peach knee-high with a scoop of ice cream. That's old school, player. Appreciate you, Marcus Hardison. And I know Brandon from Frankly Football hit me. He just hit the cash out. Appreciate you, brother. I don't think it was a message attached to it or anything like that. Okay, cool. He just said for the culture. Appreciate you, dog. Salute to you, famo. Holding it down for the Doski, Woski, the Peasky, Whiskey is always implied. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate. Let me hit the walk out one time for him. Let's hear it over here. There we go. Also for those of you that didn't know, I do a lot of draft content on this channel when Cowboy football ain't going on. So if you're fans of draft and all that stuff, like, you know, just like college football, I break down all the college players like I do with Cowboys every year or whatever. So y'all be sure to tune into that. Let's get into the phones. We got 3 calls. Oh goodness. Let's hear what brother 100 grand got to say. 100 grand. How are you, sir?
It's cold in Jersey, man. It's cold. It's freezing. It's snowing. You feel me? Good thing we ain't gonna see that in Philly though. It's gonna be nice. A nice 45-degree day.
Easy.
A nice Cowboy ass whooping.
There you go.
On Sunday. I can't wait for it. I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it.
100 grand. Did you see our Cowboys last Sunday, man?
That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. It's amazing when, you know, you come out and your first, I know you're going to do the breakdown and all that, but I guess your first 8 to 10 different formations, run formations and everything is different. When you do that and you confuse the defense and they don't know what the hell's coming, it's amazing what you can do.
Yeah.
It's brilliant what you can do when you can run out of the formation, pass out of the formation, run Tony Pollard this way, Zeke that way, take Tavon Austin, put him in the backfield, let him do something. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback option, quarterback keep, all this, you know? It's amazing. It's amazing when you don't just, it's first down, let's run Zeke up the middle.
We did a lot of running Zeke up the middle though, but it was just a little. It was a little
It
cuter
was
than
razzle
normal.
dazzle though. I mean,
It
but
was a
like
little
I
cute.
said,
Yeah.
when you run Tavon one way, put Tavon in the backfield. Oh shit! What the hell? Why is Tavon in the backfield? What's going on? Then you do a quarterback option with Dak holding the ball one time. Then all right, I'm gonna pitch it to Tavon. You see what I'm saying? Like when you do different stuff like that, the defense don't know what the hell going on. And number two, it's amazing when you don't zone block and you man block. No, I'm just, I just, where has this been?
It's been here.
Where?
It's been here. We just look,
We've been
man.
doing a whole bunch of zone blocking. Why we don't switch it up and man block? And okay, we sending these guys and sending these. They must have seen Baltimore.
I'll
Don't you
tell
know
you what's
Baltimore's
different.
back end helped out the front end?
I'll
They
tell you.
blitzed the back end. We did that. We did that on Sunday a little bit.
I'll tell you what's different. What's different is that we actually blocked people and we moved people. We blocked and we moved people, fam.
But here's the thing: we didn't do on our defensive line. We ain't do no stunt.
I would have to watch the film to confirm or deny that, but that seems to be what the word in the street is. But the word in the street don't really, you know how I feel about the word in the street. But but that seems to be the thing. I'll watch it. I'll cut the film on right now and see how many see how many times they ran twists and stunts and things like that. So I'll watch that right now. But go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
But I'm telling you, they didn't. They manned up. They manned up. They man blocked. They zone blocked. They didn't stunt. Now, I don't think they stunt. If they did stunt, they didn't do it as much as they usually do. They manned up and said, listen, this the man in front of you. Block him on the defense. Block him. And they did it on the offense, too. And it worked.
I think this
Zeke
game
got
purely
holds. Pollard got holds.
it purely came down to player execution this time. You know, the game plan was dope too. I'll give you that, but we blocked people and we weren't blocked, and I think that made a difference in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, it definitely did. It allowed your boy Sean Lee to make that interception on the back end because your front end was doing what it was supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, it allows Sean Lee to blitz and get that sack. You know what I mean? Like, when our front ends are dominating the football game like that, we can't be beat. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think that's going to happen Sunday. Zeke and Pollard going to have a big day. Dak's shoulder a little bit banged up. Don't worry about that. They're going to shoot that man up with some of them drugs, and he's going to be out there throwing the ball. I'm telling you.
That thing gonna be numb for 16 hours, boy. That thing gonna be numb, boy.
That's what's gonna happen. I mean, I really think we're gonna take care of them boys. It might be a closer game. It's gonna be a closer game than game one, but I feel like that this is going to be a game that we're going to have. It's not going to be that much sweat. It's not. I feel like we're going to take care of business, man. Because at the end of the day, these guys are not only fighting for Jason Garrett and his job, and a lot of these guys are fighting for their jobs. Because don't you know the turnover is huge in the NFL. Everybody not going to be there.
Yeah.
A lot of people fighting for contracts. You know what I'm saying? So they know what time it is, man.
I tell you what
time it is, E.
I tell you what, 100 grand, I've grown to be quite superstitious because every time I say we gonna do something, the flat opposite happens and shit. So I'm not gonna say nothing. However, 100 grand, you listen to my show enough to know the vibe, sir. You know how I feel about these next 6 games, brother. And just me saying next 6 games should say enough about how I feel about, the get down. So I'm gonna hold my tongue, but you understand what I'm saying.
I feel the same way.
There you go.
We just got to take it one game at a time. I definitely feel the same way. Mm-hmm. Our defense really, really stepped up last game. I was really surprised at how they stepped up and handled their business, and that just shows, listen, man, when your defense can do that, your offense can put 45 points up, 44 points up, 30 points up consistently when your defense can say, you know what, you ain't gonna score. When you can shut down Ty Gurley, when in the past 3 games before that, he was lighting the world on fire, and everybody was like, the Rams are back. The Rams are back. The Rams coach said, I went back and found my formula, and that was Ty Gurley, and we shut that man down, and
it was like the third quarter. Ty Gurley had like 7 carries for 0 yards, and I was like, ugh, that ain't cute. That ain't nice.
Now, granted, a lot of that is, I'm gonna tell you right now about the Cowboys. Yes. If we get a lead, it's over.
Sure.
You're not coming back. If we get a lead, I'm talking about 10 or better, game is over.
I think that's
feel
because
that way about this team. We are a front-running team. If we get a lead, you ain't coming back.
I think that's because when we're in the league, we can run the ball freely. We can run the ball freely and we can throw when we want to. But I think when you totally take the run game out of the situation, I think that's when we look a little different.
I agree. That forces Dak to have
a stunt. What is that? Hold on, time, $100,000. That was a stunt. What was that? Go back. Was that a stunt? Hold on. Hold on. Was that a stunt? Wait a minute.
Hey,
Hold on. Don't say nothing. Hold on. Wait a minute. I just want to see. Something.
I said.
Okay, never mind. You say it again. Never mind. You say.
I said we didn't do as much stunning as we did. Go back in the past 3 games we lost.
Hey, man, it's cool. You safe. It wasn't no stunt, man. You safe. It wasn't no stunt. Chill out, man. You got to cuss me out, dog. I was tripping.
I did not say there was no stunt at all. I said we didn't stunt as much as we did in the past.
I got you, man. You ain't got
now, when you watch your film, you want to say, you know what? $100,000 was right.
You got to holler, man. I'm watching the film right now. I just want to see, Hey, man, I got a couple more callers, $100,000. If you gonna be listening, I'll be watching film to see how many stunts we did. And
I'm listening, man. I'm listening.
And I'll just make you aware. But I tell you what, this whole first drive, I seen 0 stunts. So goddamn it, you might be safe. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. We got if y'all want to call into the show, the numbers on the screen is in the description. Give me a call for your free psychic reading. Frankly Football, Brandon, what's good, man?
What's going on, Voch? How you doing, man?
It's like 4 Brandons, and I got to type Frankly Football Podcast next to yours. It's crazy because I don't want confuse you.
It can only be one original. That's all that is.
I understand, my good sir. Hey, man, how was your Cowboys last Sunday, man? Did you see him? Was you watching?
It frustrated me for real. I mean, if you want me to be totally honest.
Sure.
Because this is what the team is supposed to be.
You're supposed to be 14-1.
This is what it should have been after from week 1 on.
Yep.
So it was real frustrating. I finally got a chance to take some good notes because as of now, I'm officially a college graduate. I graduated on Friday.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on, goddamn. Wait a minute, goddamn. Congratulations, brother. Salute to you.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, I ain't decided to go back to school until a little later. So, before 30, I still accomplished it.
There you go. That's all you need. As long as you got it.
All I can do.
There you go.
But, yeah, man, like I said, like, the loss frustrated me, bro. Because this is what the team should be every single week. Like I always say that the Cowboys got, like, the best, like forget the whole 53. Like just the starting 11 on both sides, 1 through 22. I feel like the Cowboys got the most talent in the league.
Sure.
And they one of the only teams that I feel like win through talent alone. Like how some teams will sneak their way to a victory, like through clever coaching.
Yeah.
But that's not how the Cowboys operate. They're gonna out talent you, and that's how they win.
Yeah. As I said earlier, man, regardless of what you feel about Brother Jason, man, this team is good enough to win regardless. You know what I mean? And
that's right.
I tell you what, man, we're gonna be the wild card team with the wild card team with the worst record. Say that 5 times fast. But I don't think nobody just gonna be trying to beat down the door to play us though. I don't think we the matchup you want.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. If the playoffs came today, San Fran will have to come to Dallas.
Sure.
I think that we could beat San Fran. Yeah. Like the way that they play ball, we could beat them.
I'm not gonna say nothing because I've grown superstitious over the past few weeks, but you know the vibes, sir. You know the vibes.
I know how we get down.
There you go.
I know how we get down.
There you go.
But like teams like San Francisco, they gonna run it down your throat, but they just do it like to another level of the way that Dallas operates.
Mm-hmm.
They just cycle in their backs so that all of them can have moderately fresh legs by the fourth quarter. And that ain't gonna work with Dallas.
There you go.
You know, if it comes to a dick swinging contest with running the ball, we gonna win that all the time.
Sure.
So that would be the team. If we was to see a team, I would want to see them. I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind, you know, delaying seeing New Orleans or Seattle until later on in the playoffs.
Even though I think that we'll beat the shit out of all of them, though. Even though, you know.
No. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Damn. Oh shit. Damn. I said it. Damn. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, it'll be a good game or whatever. You know, we'll see. But it'll be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I take notes when you talk, so that way I can kind of bring it up when I call in.
Damn.
You talked about room for error, and with filet mignon.
There you go.
My first time learning how to cook a steak, you know, in a cast iron pan, I decided, you know, saying go all out. I bought a filet mignon. I overcooked it.
Okay.
What I did is I sliced that shit up and made a high class cheesesteak. I feel like that's what some coaches do. And I would really love to see the Cowboys kind of do that. Like when I say I made a high class cheesesteak out of it, I took what I had and made it work and made it great.
Okay.
That's what I really want to see the Cowboys coaching staff do.
Okay. Even though I don't recommend you turning filet mignon into a high class cheesesteak. I don't recommend it. You're supposed to eat that thing the way it's intended to be eaten. Now I don't want to cuss nobody, but I reckon if you gonna overcook it, I guess you should make fajitas or some shit. But go ahead, my good sir.
Hey man, you know I'm a medium rare guy myself.
There you go.
I did not realize how hot cast iron got. That's all I can say.
I understand. Keep going.
But yeah, man. With this last 6 games, it's gonna come up. Like room for error with coaching, like you said, is almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to be able to adjust better than doing it at halftime. They have to be able to adjust in the middle of a quarter. And if they can do that, because it has been seen that the Cowboys are one of the better half-game adjusting teams in the league, well, for a majority of the season anyway. So if they can turn that into a middle-of-the-game thing, then I think that it's nobody that can really beat us. I'm going to say that. You ain't got to say it because, you know what I'm saying, I know how you getting down. But that's what I'm going to say.
Man, if that team that came out last Sunday 6 more times, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who can beat that?
Who
can beat that?
6 more times. And the Rams ain't a bad team. The Rams,
they're
like 85? they gonna not make the playoffs with a double-digit record, I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I've actually started putting Aaron Donald's picture on milk cartons because I didn't see him the whole game. I ain't see him.
It's just
we can stop
man.
Somebody like that.
It's just interesting, man. You know, they got one of the better corners on their team, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we found a way to win despite of that.
Yep.
It ain't gonna be another guy that's better than Aaron Donald that we're gonna run up against.
Not in the front, no.
Cause shit, the Bears ain't playing.
Man, I'm really glad that you brought up Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
You really see how good Dallas is when they kind of depend on their tight ends a little bit. Like if you notice teams like Baltimore, San Francisco, and to an extent Seattle, even though he got injured. All of those teams have really good tight ends that they can depend on. And I really think that Blake Jarwin can be that guy. Because he got such good size. His hands have finally come and developed. And he's fast. So if Dallas can kind of lean on him a little bit more and you know, feed him a little bit in the passing game, he gonna be a mismatch
You know
that
when I
nobody can
was
really cover.
when I was watching Blake, just kind of looking over the film this week, man. The one thing that kind of stands out to you is when he catch the ball, he get yak. When he catch the ball, he get
Mm-hmm.
yak, and he generally catches the ball a little further down the field. Yep,
Yep.
yep. So
Yep. The seam routes, man.
do I think Jason Witten should be pushed off a bridge? Not necessarily, because I think there are some things that Jason Witten's really good at, like that 1 to 3 yard range as a first down converter. Well, a third down guy, red zone guy. I really like Jason Witten in those scenarios or whatever. I think he's overrated as a blocker, even though he blocked pretty well this Sunday. I do think Blake's a little better than him. That's why you should hope that we win the Super Bowl, because we do. He gone. If we win the Super Bowl,
Oh yeah.
Jason Witten and
Please,
Sean Lee up out here.
please. I really hope it happens. Um, have you seen anything about Dalton Schultz? Like
Dalton
anything?
Dalton was he played at the end of the game last week. Last Sunday or whatever. He did like blocking duty or whatever, but that's basically all he come in to do is, block duty or whatever.
Got you. I would love to have a second tight end that we can rely on for that, stretch the field type thing. But
Yeah.
if he ain't it yet, he's still young.
But I'm not and that's where me and Brother Foots kind of differ, because Foots want to draft a tight end this year, and we only got like five draft picks, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to get some defensive help. You know what I mean? Because that's where
Oh
most of
yeah,
our
come on now.
that's where most of our free agents going to come from. And I was saying in one of these film sessions, I'm gonna say it. I don't know which one it is, but I would like for Dallas to build their D line like we've put equity into the O line. You know,
Got you.
I think the highest draft pick was D Law at like 34. The highest talent is Randy, but we got him in the second. Like all the D linemen we got are like bargain guys. I want us to actually use first round picks on our D line, and kind of build that foundation and make that an identity of the defense like we did with the offense.
Definitely. And the rookie class is going to be so important this year because we got like I think it's like 29 free agents
Yes,
because
sir.
we signed a couple guys,
Yes, sir. Um,
and
and and
this
and
team is going to be real bare.
And look, man, people kind of hate me for saying it or whatever, but it's not even going to be this rookie class that makes the impact on it. It's going to be like the Tony Pollard Tristan class that's gonna make the impact. I think the guys in the 2018 class were the ones that are drafted to play next year. So Connor McGovern and Tristan and boy Tony gonna be some good. I hope my next coach, I say this on Twitter all the time. I hope my next coach use Tony properly. You know what I mean? Whoever the next coach is, I hope they bust ass in whatever way they got to do to get Tony some Kamara type usage in here, because every time he get the ball, he's fantastic. But you're gonna need Donovan. You're gonna need the cornerback gone, Michael Jackson or whatever, he gone. But you're gonna need Joe Jackson. So these guys that we drafted this year that we're not using, and Cowboy fans mad that we're not using them. When you're not using rookies, that's a good thing, because if you're using rookies, that means you were terrible at that spot. And I keep saying that shit like I'm a broken record, but people don't listen. You know what I mean? So you need to take your last year's draft class, and the best you can do is take the guys from that you're gonna draft in the 2020 draft or whatever, and put those guys together and try to fill those spots in. But at least you still got your core guys. Complimentary guys gonna be gone for the most part, but you still got like your O line, your running back, quarterback, and receiver should still be there. Shit like that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I'm about to mock the people who disagree with you. But Voch, we drafted Tristan Hill in the second round, and Tony Pollard should be seeing more carries than Zeke, and Jeff Heath is trash, so we should be using Donovan Wilson more. What you got to say about that?
I'm very fond of pushing weird ass people on sharp objects. You know what I'm saying? I'm uh, I'm I'm older now, so I don't you know what I'm saying, I don't get into physical altercations as much as I would like to, because I'm licensed to carry now. So I don't you know what I'm saying, I don't want to get into all that no more. You know what I mean? But I will get into a very thorough shouting match in in my defense of how wrong that person is. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you would like Tony to play more, but Zeke is fantastic. You know, you would like Tristan to play more, even though second round defensive tackles really don't come out year one and play that well. You would want Tristan to play more, but we got plenty help at 3-tech this year, so why even rush him? Donovan Wilson can't get on the field because when you take Jeff Heath off the field, boy, this thing looks terrible. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Jeff Heath is playing fine, man. So just don't rush yourself. Don't rush your stroke, man. Let the kids sit down and get they peanut butter sandwiches and lift some weights, and when they big and strong, they'll come out and play next year, and then you can criticize them. I give people 3 years. These new players, these draft prospects, I give them 3 years. I don't care about this one-hit wonder mess, because that's how Baker Mayfield is all over your TV, all over your damn progressive commercials or whatever, because you anoint people too quick. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten the shouting matches with damn Bears fans because they thought Jordan Howard was as good as Zeke. And I was like, just because Jordan Howard got roughly the same amount of yards as Zeke, don't mean Jordan Howard is as good as Zeke. That is usage over talent. They're like, oh, Voch, you don't know what you're talking about, you a hater. Jordan Howard will simply just let go. Simply let go. Sent to the Eagles. 5th round pick or some shit. Now he's like splitting carries, and you put him in the conversation with Zeke. Be patient. Wait on your draft picks. You're hating on Tristan Hill. If that bastard turned to Warren Sapp, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm not saying he is, but if he does, but if he does, shit, y'all want to cut him before it's time to see what it really is. Stop trying to bite the bread before the rest. Hit the button on that. When you bake bread, you gotta let it rest. When you bake a cake, you gotta let it rest. When you cook a filet mignon in a hot ass cast iron pan, you've got to let the meat rest. Let Tristan Hill rest. I'm sorry.
Hashtag let it rest.
Let him rest.
There we go. I'm going to just put that in the chat box right.
Wild
put
parsley.
That in the chat box right quick. There we go.
Wild parsley. 6 more games. Okay, my bad. Go ahead, sir. How many more callers I got? Let me see.
Now.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go ahead. You good.
Now, you said 3 years. Why you don't think that they gave like some of the DBs, like Mike Jackson, for example? He won't good. Why you think they didn't give him that luxury before, like, putting him on the practice squad and exposing him to teams like the Lions that scooped him up?
Well, because Michael Jackson got to be better than Byron Jones and Cheeto and Jordan and Anthony Brown, and he simply wasn't better than those people. Now, if we didn't have roster limits, this wouldn't be a problem. If we didn't have roster limits, then Tristan Hill would be getting groomed every single week. But you can only carry 46 people on the roster, and Tristan Hill does not play special teams. So of course Luke Gifford gonna get the nod, and guys like Donovan Wilson, of course those guys gonna make your roster because they play special teams. D tackles typically don't play special teams, so Tristan Hill got to sit his ass down, just like Connor McGovern got to sit his ass down. It happens. So Michael Jackson would have been a good guy to bring in and see what he can do, but he had 5 people that he had to be better than, and I just think that means your roster's good. If Michael Jackson can just come in and make your team, it says a lot about where you at, you know?
And that's fair as what? He was like a 5th round pick. So, yeah, if a 5th round pick can come in and be guaranteed a spot, that's not saying much about your guys that are currently on the roster.
Sure. That's just how I feel, though.
And I feel like now that the season is kind of coming to a close and the balls are against the bandsaw, I think that they're actually a little bit more okay with just trying to see what they got at some positions. Like you see how they just bringing in linebackers. That's kind of, by force. But I think that they're okay with, if a guy is doing good, just seeing what he got. So I hope that that's something that, if a guy can find success, that he sees a little bit of time in these last 2 regular season games. I'm not okay with that in the playoffs. But if it happens during these last 2 games, I'd be happy to see it.
I'm trying to
because that hasn't been like a staple of this team in the past.
I'm trying to put my foot on the gas and win as fantastic as possible. I'm not trying to walk around in my base form all day. I want to go Super Saiyan 3 from the rip, and I want to fight as strong as I can from the rip. Now, if we go into the Redskins game and you want to get Tristan Hill some snaps, you want to get Donovan Wilson some snaps, cool, but I'm still trying to win that damn game. You know what I'm saying? Play Dak, play Zeke, play them. You know, but I'm still trying to win that game. You know what I mean?
You don't want to see what you got in Cooper Rush, Voch?
Nope.
You don't want to see that?
Nope. I'm 6 more games. I ain't got time. But hey, Brandon, look, appreciate you for your cash app. Salute to you, sir. Congratulations. Have a bottle. Don't drive though. I'm happy for you, man. Salute to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm now that I'm graduated, I'm back on the YouTube thing. I had to take like 2 months off to focus on the schoolwork. But now that I'm back on that, now that I'm done with that, I'm back on. I'm trying to get up to where you at, dog.
Frankly Football on YouTube, Frankly Football Podcast, all that good stuff. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Peace.
Let's see. We got let me lock the phones. We got 2 more calls here. We're gonna get to both those calls. But those are gonna be the last calls that we get to.
The conference has been locked.
Let me lock the conference. And just one more time, since it's been such a while. I never get tired of hearing it. Nick, what's good?
Oh, not too much, man. What are you doing?
Peace.
How's the water over there?
Man, the water's fantastic. The water is refreshing. The water made me 2 inches taller, sir.
Yeah, man. I did enjoy the game on Sunday, but man, I feel like I'm not sure if I'm more confident now going to the Eagles into the rest of the year, or if I'm less confident, because for a while it was kind of like, okay, well, our coaching isn't using our guys right, we're not using our scheme right, but then we come out and play pretty much the same scheme, and we finally just get guys all on the same page and they all execute, which it's like that almost seems harder to fix. How do you get those guys to be consistent since they've spent 15 weeks not being consistent? But
I just think they got to show up and play. They just got to line up and play. And the best thing about the playoffs is once you get there, everybody record resets. It just goes right back to 0-0. So your past sins do not count against you in the land of National Football League playoffs. So regardless of what happens, just do you do when you get there.
Yep, we just have to figure out whether or not they're going to do what they did when we got there, or if they're going to go, this is another Eagles game where it's, everything clicks for one game, and then you come out the next week and half it's clicking and half it's not.
Yep.
So we just got to see. We just don't know who this team is. We cannot get a pulse on this team to save our life this year. Most talented roster, cannot figure out why it's looked like this all year, but hey, I think, if nothing else, it's the very worst case with the loss on Sunday is that we're at least going to have a different coach. So we got a next coach. It's very, very worst case scenario.
We will focus on that when it's appropriate to focus on that. But we got 6 games ahead of us, my good sir. Let's just run that.
Oh, sure. I want to see a 6th Lombardi a lot more than I want to see a new coach, for sure. That's not even a question. But and by the way, I appreciate you guys talking about the draft picks. That's been my number one pet peeve. I don't know how many Cowboys fans I've argued with about this year we drafted like shit. Like, man, come on.
How you even know? How you know? we haven't been playing anybody.
Well, I think the 2016 draft class kind of spoiled people to some extent. Because, if you look back at this draft, right, like, first off, how many difference makers did we get out of this draft? We got Amari Cooper and Tony Pollard. There's 2 big ones right there. Yep. And then everybody's upset because round 2 and round 3, we got Connor McGovern and Tristan Hill. Well, how are you going to be upset about a guy you haven't seen yet? And how are you going to be upset about a kid that's 21? He just figured out how to buy a beer around the same time he entered the National Football League. So, give him a second. I mean, a lot of people forget what it's like to be 21 years old. You're not exactly, you're not in your man body yet.
I think the problem is that even though Tristan was a 2nd round pick, he was the first pick. and in people's brain, like in they psychology thing somewhere, he's a first round pick to them just because he was the first picked. But people got to understand, he not only was he a second round pick, but he was picked at the back of the second round. He was pick number 50. We just can't expect people to just come in year one and just tear shit up. Christian Wilkins, who was a first round pick, didn't just come in year one and tear shit up. Guys like Renell Wren that you like. Guys like Dalen Mack. Guys like Greg Gaines and them. You got to let guys grow. Let guys grow. Perfect example.
Williams hasn't even done anything this year.
Perfect example. Jaron Reed with the Seahawks, three tech from Alabama. He just got good. He wasn't good year one. He just got good. Brandon Graham with the Eagles. He was not good year 1 and 2. He had to grow. He had to figure this thing out. If you're a running back and you fast, you just fast. If you a D lineman going up against these grown men, it takes a lot more, man. It takes a lot more. Now, if you're like a high first round pick, that's different, man. But you the 50th overall guy? Come on, man.
Well, even the high first round picks, right? Like Ed Reed, yeah. Am I thinking of Ed Oliver? That's who I'm thinking of. On the Bills, like he had a good game against us. Don't get me wrong, but he hadn't really done a whole lot for the rest of the year. Like he's just now starting to come up, and he's a top 10 pick. And then you have Quinnen Williams, who hadn't done anything, and he's riding IR. So these guys take time. Like look, D line is not impact position their rookie year. Aaron Donald wasn't Aaron Donald as a rookie. Mm-mm. So, it's a position that takes more time. And those are early first round guys, and they still don't come in and make day one, splashes in the league.
I just
hate
hate
people.
A while.
So
I just hate people.
What's that?
I just hate people, but my bad. Go ahead, bro.
I'm right there with you, man. I cannot stand how much bashing I've heard and had to deal with Cowboys fans on this particular draft class. It's like, man, first off, if you get two players out of the draft that are day one / impact players on your offense, you did pretty well in the or on either side of the ball, really. You did pretty well in the draft. And we got, like I said, Tony Pollard and Amari Cooper. So there you go. It's a good draft right there. And then if you want to, keep going, we're going to see what happens with the rest of these guys. Marcus Lawrence wasn't exactly blowing the world up his rookie year either. So, and we had to trade up, and he got him at the top of the second. So, again, it's the people are too microwave. You got to have it quick. Right. If it ain't a hot pocket, we're upset about it. I think the Taylor Rapp and Juan Thornhill having good years is really what's pissed everybody off. Even Chauncey Gardner in New Orleans is doing pretty well, but he also is the one that got burned on the play that had them lose in the last seconds of the Niners game too. So
also
that was kind of funny.
Also, something else that's just a notion of mine in terms of the whole safety thing. People's like, why we didn't draft, Thornhill and whatever. You can find a strong safety a lot easier than you can find a good defensive tackle. So if you find a defensive tackle you like, get him. One thing I keep saying about Tristan, he's not ready right now. He's not as big as he should be. He's not as strong. But that burst is different. Tristan does have burst, and he has a motor that's different. I can find you a handful of safeties that can go out cover and hit people. Donovan Wilson can go out cover and hit people. You know what I mean? I'd rather be special at D-line, though. I think Tristan gonna be fine. But hell, and shit, it's just me being draft guy. It's a bunch of safeties you can get this year. It's not a lot of D tackles. Most the tackles are they're gonna be in the top 15 or so. And the rest of them kind of fall off after that.
Yeah, I mean, when it was looking like we might have been bounced out of the competition when 6 and 10 was on the table, I was hoping that we might fall far enough to grab Derek Brown, but that ain't gonna happen.
Nah, Derek Brown top 10, man.
And he's unless we're trading up for him, but I don't even see that. So we only have 5 picks in this draft, as you pointed out earlier. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about this Dak injury against the Eagles? I mean, it's making me sweat a little bit just because I know how bad that injury can be, and I mean that's how we've torched them is through the air. Although Zeke never has less than 100 yards going into Philadelphia, but
well, they said that Dak was hurt like during the game last week. Well, like last Sunday or whatever. Like during the game, like while he was in the game, his shoulder was hurting, and he was able to play through it. So as long as it ain't nothing that's gonna sideline him, he's good to go. Plus, to be fair, since it's the Eagles, for real, as long as he can hand that thing off, as long as we can hand that thing off, we straight.
And he was. I mean, it was the first the first play of the second drive where he scrambled and Clay Matthews landed on top of him. They said so. It was about 7 minutes into the first quarter or something like that. 7-8 minutes into the first quarter. And yeah, I mean, he played fine. But the thing is, I mean, if you ever had ligament injuries, a lot of times it doesn't hurt when you do it. It hurts, when you wake up the next day. It's all tight and swollen and hurts like hell. And I think that's what happened because I mean, he didn't look like he looked a little bit off, but he had the finger. His shoulder was probably kind of bugging him. But I mean, this is the first time he's been limited in practice. Yeah, which if he was feeling the way he felt on game day, I don't think he'd be limited in practice. I think
I tell you what, man, they got some magic and some witchcraft over there that'll have Dak feeling good for 12 hours, and once the game over, he'll go right back to feeling like shit. So, whatever he got to do, they'll do it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, again, it's just I hate to not be able to stretch the field because he's limited a little bit against a secondary that we can burn him with anybody. So we have Tavon Austin 40 yards open again against that, and we don't even have to get a pick route on there to do it against that secondary. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm like I said, there's no bad outcome for the Cowboys in terms of this game, but I want to ring, man. I'm tired of this. I hope we're all clicking. I've been watching film on this. I just cannot figure out why stuff was working so much better this week than it has been. And it's, a lot of it is just tackling. Sean Lee was going in, he'd wrap somebody up, and they'd actually go to the ground.
Because we executed.
Maybe you don't need to practice Sean Lee anymore. He's good on practice for a little while. You just rest him. That don't practice Sean Lee thing seemed to work out for us. That dude was all over the field, making tackles. But the thing is, our linebackers didn't have to do that much because we actually had gap integrity this time. That was the biggest thing I saw that was different. Yep. I don't know if it's going to be the same against a much better offensive line in Philadelphia. I really hope that it is, but we got to make sure that we kind of plug up those holes the same way we did. Hopefully, they just kind of figured it out. When you feel something and it feels, I mean, you played line. When you kind of get the feeling of something, how something's supposed to feel, and you kind of settle into that, it makes it a little bit easier. And I'm just hoping that's what we got. But that's all we can do. We only get to hope. We don't get to say we can't point to anything consistent and say this is what they do.
6 more games, my guy. 6 more games. I appreciate it though, Nick.
All right, man. Cool. Well, hopefully, shit, man. We have a big ass, I don't know, YouTube pizza party or something. We win the Super Bowl at the parade.
I'm not gonna say anything because I'm a lot more superstitious now, but you know the vibe. 6 more games. You know what I mean? Salute, my guy.
All right, man.
Yep.
All right. Take care.
I mean what I say, and I say what I mean about my superstition. Let's do like chat box, man. I'm shutting down the phones. Let's do chat box for like let's say 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're gonna wrap this thing up because I gotta drive to Mississippi in the morning. I gotta pack too. I ain't done nothing, man. I haven't done a thing. But that's just the way it goes, man. 10 more minutes. So at 11:27, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Chat box, fire your questions away. Let's see what y'all talking about. And we'll go ahead and shut the fam down. It is late. It is very late. Easy for prayers. He says, war call for the wild parsley, please. Hey, man, wild parsley. never have too much war call. You can never have too much wild parsley. Somebody saying Jamal Adams ? I tell you what, we only got 5 picks. Listen, man, we only got 5 picks, man. we only got 5 picks. What you want me to say? What you want me to say? I missed out on the TJ Watt discussion. We didn't discuss TJ Watt. I'm gonna just say I've been seeing stunts in that video. It was a couple. It was a couple stunts. Not a lot, but it was a few. But we'll see. Defensive tackle or safety in the first round. I would have to look at the film. I'm not as savvy in this draft just yet because we still got like football to like Cowboy football to go. So allow me to figure that out. But I would like to invest in my D line, man. I know a lot of people rushing to get safety. Listen, man, if I can get 5 more years of cheap Jeff Heath and just draft D lineman, I'll do that. But I know how y'all feel about Jeff Heath though. So that just is what that is. Give me a D lineman now. I hope the Rams game was able to light a fire under their asses and they can make a run to the playoffs if we be feeling. Sure. 6 more games. Been a fan since 1979, age 4. I was born in 92. Salute to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't looking forward to 5 more years of Jeff Heath. I feel you on that, but if you think about like drafts, what would you rather spend your picks on? At some point, we're gonna have to invest into the defensive line, and that's 4 spots. I guess D-Law is gonna be around, but your 1 tech, 3 tech may not be there. We'll see what Tristan's gonna do. Your other defensive end is an old man. Doran seems to be a rotational guy. In 5 years, that may be 2 picks, 3 picks maybe. Your O-line, cornerbacks. I just think a lot of positions are a lot more important than safety. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't know. And it's the salary cap era, so, you won't be able to keep everybody. So, Voch, do you think the problem with our defense is that we stunt too much or execution or both? I just think when we get off blocks and tackle people, we're fine. If we get off blocks and tackle people, we good to go. But that's just how I feel. Hill should have some snaps on the field. Vice top picks need to find a way on the field. Come down at 52. And well, I feel what you're saying, but why? Why? That's like saying we drafted Pat Mahomes at number 10. Let's rush him on the field. Pat needed a year to sit down. Even watching Pat in college at Texas A&M, Pat needed a year to sit down. Sit him down. Jaron Reed needed to sit down. D-line is different. Like, if we was talking about throwing, like, we've thrown receivers in the fire. We've done that before. We've thrown linebackers in the fire. And if you're a linebacker running free, all you got to do is run and tackle. It's just so different for D-line, bro. It's just so different from D-line. And plus, you want to talk about Tristan Hill. Who do you take off the field to put Tristan Hill in? Do you take Michael Bennett off the field? 3 tech? Do you take Malik Collins off the field? Hell, if Tyrone Crawford was here, I'm not taking him off the field. Tristan's just not ready yet. There's no need to rush him. Let's put him on the bench. Let him sit there. Make him lift weights all year. Feed him a peanut butter. Why rush him? You say he needs to be on the field. Why does he need to be on the field if we don't need him? Hell, Kerry Hyder was a whole starter with the Lions. Kerry ain't terrible. Kerry's just third string for us. I just don't feel the need to rush. Why do we have to rush people, A.B. McDonald? Why do we have to rush people? Like, for what? For what? Let them fly. Let them fly. And then when it's time next year, let him play next year. When is his time? It's not his time. McGovern was drafted next year as 100%. 100%. I don't know, man. It just is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not gonna scream about it. I might keep screaming about it because y'all be making me mad, but I'm not gonna scream about it. Randy's never gonna play again. Y'all must be talking about Randy Gregory. I don't know. Covington is a one tag. Yep, Covington is absolutely a one tag. Yep, and that's another thing too. Like, we so bad at one tag that we force Tristan to play one tag, and that's not good because Tristan's not a one tag. He's a three tag. But when Antoine gets hurt or he gets caught with the wild parsley, Covington starts at one tech. We don't have anybody else to rotate at one tech. So when Tristan plays one tech, he's out of position. Tristan is a three tech under tackle. We got four of them. It's not his time, man. It's not his time. Do they let Collins walk in free agency? Maybe. No, we didn't sign. Malik Collins is what he's saying. I don't think Malik Collins will be back. I don't think he'll be back. Pollard needs more dedicated plays. Absolutely. Do we have enough cap for Amari and Byron Jones? I think we do. People say we don't, but I think we do. I think we do. What else y'all got? We got I give y'all 3 more minutes. What else we got? Malik Collins can play one tech, but Malik Collins is a three tech. I'm not putting Malik Collins at one tech. I'm already pissed off about him playing three tech, so I'm not trying to put him at one tech. No. What else y'all got? What else y'all got for I wrap this show up, pack a bag real fast, and go to sleep? Y'all ain't got nothing else? Y'all not gonna uphold y'all end of the bargain? Let's see. Do you like the Tampa 2 formation? It's a formation that's a part of football. You know, I'm defense guy. I mean, I'm offense guy. Honestly, I think defense is whack, it's boring, it's trash. But you know, you got to live with it. But I don't mind Tampa 2. We're a Tampa 2 team, but we play everything. We don't line up in Tampa 2 every single play. You know, sometimes Tampa 2 is necessary because teams want to push the ball down the deep middle of your field. Tampa 2 is there to neutralize the deep middle. So sometimes you need it. But, you know, other times we go cover 3. Other times we go cover 1. You know, just depends. See, Nene, he won't hear us. He's avoiding us. We're going to have to push Voch into sharp objects. Goblo, let's see what. Let me scroll and see what Goblo talking about. Let's see what Goblo saying. Nene hear me, but Voch won't. Let me keep scrolling and see what Goblo talking about. Let me see what Goblo talking about. Goblo, you ain't talking about nothing. The hell you won't. I know Voch hear me asking for Robert Quinn gifts of him yanking the face man. Is that what you asking about? Goblo? Is that what you asking? Voch, where's the Robert? Yeah, okay, I guess that's what you asked me. Shit, I don't know. It just ain't on there. I don't know. I'll find it and we'll figure it out. I'll find it and we'll figure it out. Yes, Joe, we do have a lot of cap space, but that gonna be like 35 of that. And then there's gonna be Coop, and then we got like 25 other people. So, yeah, we got cap space relatively. You know, it just depends on where it's gonna go. I think we should have like 60 next year or something like that, but it depends. Voch got us winning 27-13. It ain't gonna be a repeat of the Rams game. Philly is banged up on both sides offensively. I hate 3-4. I hate everything about the 3-4 defense. I can't stand it. I hate everything about it. It sucks. I like some aspects of it. I like the super heavy nose player. I like the super athletic rush end or rush, linebacker, rush edge player or whatever. But I just hate the notion of it. I like even fronts. If I was to coach like a defense or something, I like even fronts. 2 more minutes. I'm gonna take out to 11:30. What else we got? Let's see. Did you notice if Amari looks healthy on film? We ran the ball like 40 times. I don't think we didn't need nobody. We had a combined 4 receptions from the receivers. We either threw it to tight ends and running backs or we ran the football. 4 receptions. Everybody got 1. Tavon's one was for a touchdown, but we just ain't need Coop. We didn't need him that day. You know? So it is what it is. Do you think Frederick is close to 100%? No, but he's pretty good at 80. He's pretty good at 80. He'll be back though. Connor Williams for Jamal Adams. That's stupid. Which coach would you rather keep, Chris Richard or Kellen Moore? Y'all already know my vibes about Chris. Yeah, Chris can go. Chris can go. I like Kellen though. Young AK, there's no way for me to watch film on coaches, so I don't really know what Harbaugh, Urban, or Lincoln can bring to the table. So whoever they bring in, I just hope they whoever they bring in, I hope they do well. I hope they bring in a staff that runs and they can run the machine properly. And I just, I hope all is well. I just hope all is well. Appreciate you, Marcus. Appreciate you, man. Salute to you, my guy. Kellen Moore is a future head coach somewhere, maybe even here. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. $1 challenge times 2. Peace to my brother Voch, sending positive energy from Houston, Texas. To you and your loved ones, the 6-game win streak is definitely possible. Salute to you and the chat. Salute to you, Mark. Thank you very much, sir. All right, y'all. That's been God bless say Voch for coach. Voch better not come here, coach boy, because Voch take us to the Super Bowl every game. Well, it'll be a whole dynasty in this motherfucker. Voch was coaching, boy. I appreciate y'all for listening, man. Don't forget, I'm gonna be doing merch giveaways for my patrons every month for every patron. At first we did $10. We did $10 patrons got into the random drawing for the shirts or whatnot. But now we're gonna do something for every tier. The $1 patrons, the $2 to $5. Everybody's gonna get entered in a merch giveaway. So go sign up for the Patreon, man. It's dope. It's fire over there. And we're giving away free merch. You gotta love free merch. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. And I got some ads, man, if y'all don't mind. So I'm just gonna run these ads and I'll catch y'all next time, man. I don't know if we're gonna be doing a live stream after the game Sunday, because I'll be in Mississippi with my peoples, and then we got Christmas coming up and all that. So y'all just kind of like look at my Twitter and I'll kind of update y'all on what we're gonna do moving forward. All right, y'all hold down for the Doski Wilson Peasky Whiskey, man. Listen to these. Wait, time out, because this cat said he missed the war chant, so we're gonna cut the chant back on. Then we're gonna go into the ads. All right, so peace. My cable bill was way too high. I reached out to affordablesticks.com. They sent me a Fire Stick, plugged that thing into the HDMI. Now I get unlimited shows, movies, and live TV. I'm a huge sports fan, so I love League Pass, Sunday Ticket, and I get the pay-per-view fights for free. There's something for the whole family. You can buy a Fire Stick for every TV in the house and still spend less money than you would on cable. That's affordablesticks.com. There's a link in my description. You should go click it. Cut the cord, man. The YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute. After canceling my cable, I saved $2,400 this year by switching to Beast TV through channelsforcheap.com. Some people pay $200+ a month. I paid $120 a year, or you can go $15 a month if that's what's convenient for you. You get 2,500 HD channels. 1,000 of those are in English, and there are plenty other international channels, TV Guide, and we get all the sports. One of my favorite things is multi-screen feature. So if I don't know what I want to watch, I can tune into 4 different channels at one time that you can watch on 4 different devices, and it's available on Fire Sticks, smart TVs, tablets, and if you're on the go, you can watch TV on your phone. Hit the link in my description or go to channelsforcheap.com where you can get a free 7-day trial. That's a whole week for you to just sit down and play with it and see what you like about it, then come back and make a purchase. If you have any questions, go to channelsforcheap.com, hit this little button right here, and they'll respond to you immediately. That is channels4cheap.com. The link is in the description. I highly recommend it. Let's do it.